And now we welcome the new year, full of things that have never been. Hi, my name is JF. Welcome back to Light and Shadows. This little line was written by somebody called Rainer Maria Rilke. He was an Austrian poet and novelist who lived between 1875 and 1926. And it's about embracing the unknown. Tomorrow's never promised, right? So tomorrow's always a little scary because we never know what we're going to get into. So as we get into a new year, with a new year that's going to be full of possibility, excitement, but also possible sorrows and mishaps, sometimes it's scary to go forward when we don't know what's ahead of us. But you know what? Having faith in ourselves helps a lot. So today I'm going to talk about a spiritual topic for the new year. Focusing on letting go of the past, regrets and failures, and embracing a fresh start through practices like prayers for wisdom, God's will, spiritual study, intentional gratitude, silence, serving others, and setting value-based goals. Key themes include faith and action, building foundation, joy, leadership, spiritual discipline, learning, as in sharing your light, so learning to share your light, and committing your year to yourself. So a new year is all about renewal. Above all, for the new year, love yourself. Love yourself. If you can't love yourself, you cannot love anyone else. And if you can't love yourself, your life is going to be dark. Learn to love yourself. We are all beings with a divine purpose. We're all beings with a soul. We're not human living a soul experience. We are souls living a human experience. We all have parts of God inside us, deep, deep inside us. So you know what? Dig deep. Talk to yourself. Learn to love yourself, because loving yourself is also loving the divine. Revitalizing your inner spiritual life, faith, and relationship within yourself through practices like reflection, introspection, and community. Yes, community. Community plays an important role. And community is defined by the person or the people you are around. That's your community. And your community, a lot of time, will tell you if you're going the wrong way or if you're going the right way. So it's important to have outside to help you reflect on what you're doing, to point out to you sometimes where you're going wrong. That's important. Leading to a deeper sense of purpose, fresh strength, and alignment with your higher self. Essentially, becoming who you were meant to be. Not a new person, but a more vibrant, true version of yourself. It's about shaking off spiritual weariness and worldliness to experience yourself truly and live out your beliefs fully. Gratitude. It's about recognizing and appreciating the divine or the universe's role in all life's blessing, both good and challenging. Fostering a deeper connection to something greater, increasing overall well-being, and finding meaning even in hardship, transforming life into a sacred practice of thankfulness and acknowledgement. It's more than just saying thanks. It's a profound mindset shifting focus from lack to abundance, acknowledging that life itself is a gift. Gratitude. Sometimes, not sometimes, but most of the time, we express gratitude when something good happens to us, right? What about when something bad happens to us? We're not very grateful then, are we? No, because we are within our ego when we do that. Absolutely. If you shift your perspective when something bad happens to you and look at it from all angles, a lot of time you'll find that there's a reason why something happened to you, or something bad happened to you. It was to teach you a lesson. It was to help you from going down a path where you don't want to go, where you don't belong. This year for me has been extremely hard. It's probably one of the hardest year of my life. But you know what? I didn't crumble. I faltered. I stood back up. And I took charge of myself. I led myself to a better place. And part of that was gratitude. After doing introspection, I realized that I wasn't doing everything the right way. I was allowing others to step over me. I was allowing others to tell me how I should be. I was just selling myself short. I had forgotten that's good. And it took something really, really bad for me to remember that. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I remembered who I was, who I am. That's gratitude. Gratitude is not only when things are going well. And if you reflect on things that have happened to you in the past. You'll probably agree with me. Purpose. Purpose is about finding deep meaning and a reason for being beyond material goals, often involving connecting to something larger than oneself, expressing core values, serving others, and living authentically with present and intention in daily life. A lot of times we chase after material goods. What can this offer? If I have this in my life, my life would be much better. But truthfully, when you keep chasing external material goods, it's going to be okay for a week, 2 weeks, whatever, and you get bored of it, and it's something else. Learn to find meaning within yourself. And again, in order to do that, you need to learn to love yourself. Once you love yourself, you can find deeper meaning to your life. This is how I started this podcast. Because I felt that since I'm always full of love and light, then I need to share it. And that's what I'm doing. And I found a purpose even in darkness. And it's not something that's material. And whatever you find, whatever you want to do it authentically. And do it with pure intentions. Don't do it because, this might bring me fame, this might bring me fortune. No. If that's what you're doing it for the wrong reasons. It's like giving. It's like sharing. Give and share without expectations. A lot of people can't do that. Give and share without expectation and find your purpose within yourself. It's about discovering your inner essence, using your unique gifts, which we all have. Every one of us has gifts that are unique to ourselves. Some of them are big, some of them are not. It's okay. Using your unique gifts to make a positive impact and finding fulfillment through love, compassion, and alignment. Guiding your actions with a tough mind and tender heart. Meaning, think with us first, then lead with us. Deeper connection. Feeling an unseen bond with your inner self, others, or the divine, transcending the physical for profound meaning, purpose, and alignment, bringing inner peace, clarity, and strength to navigate life's challenges by recognizing shared values, emotions, and a higher purpose. What that means to me is that when we learn to love ourselves, we also deepen our connection within ourselves, within the divine, God, Allah, Vishnu, whatever you want to believe, okay? However you call it, it's all within ourselves. And when you deepen your connection to yourself, you also deepen your connection to the divine. And when you connect with the divine, that's when your life starts having meaning, purpose. That's when your life aligns with your purpose. All right, so next is reflection and intention. Reviewing the past year. How did you show up? How did God show up in your last year? What challenges have you overcome? How did you grow in faith and spirit? And how did you share your light? Really think about, 2025 and how did you show up for others? How did you show up for yourself, more importantly? And what challenges did you overcome? Sometimes the challenges we overcome don't seem that big, but they are. And sometimes the challenges that we overcome that seem big, once we overcome them, they don't seem so big anymore, don't they? I think there's a Chinese proverb that says, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. And unless you refuse to take that steps, you'll never carry your journey. You're always going to be lost within yourself. You're always going to be scared. You're always going to be ashamed. You're always going to be so many things that you don't want to be. So taking that first step sometimes seems gigantic, but it's not. Because after you take that first step, you take a second and a third and a fourth. And when you look back, you see that all the steps are equally distanced. Not one of them was bigger than the other because it's all in there. It's all part of your limiting beliefs, which we talked about earlier. Define your years. Define your year. What does your spiritual journey look like? Where do you want to grow? Do you want to grow in service? Do you want to grow in knowledge? Do you want to grow in faith? So take a look at 2025. How was your spiritual journey in 2025? Is there something lacking? Is there something you want to add? By all means. Letting go. Releasing past failures, regret, and burdens to embrace new beginning. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. Letting go means remembering the lesson it taught you and carry on. And don't overthink. Don't overthink the past. The past is the past. What's done is done. You can't go back. You can only move forward. And again, moving forward requires one step ahead of the others. And moving forwards requires that we focus on the present and we think about the future, and that we remember the lessons from the past, but we don't dwell on them. It's easy. And it's easier when it comes with practice. When you start doing this every day, you remind yourself every day that the past is the past and that you are not who you were. You are what you're becoming. Once you remind yourself of that every day, your life is going to change dramatically. Next. Okay, core spiritual practice. All right, prayers. What are prayers? Is it like getting on your knees and, praying to God with your fingers crossed? And no, I mean, it can be. That's what you want to do. And you don't have to be anywhere specific to have a prayer. God is always around us. God is within us. God knows what we're thinking. The universe knows what we're thinking. It's not what you're thinking or what you wish for that's important. It's your intentions, the prayer you're making. If you're making a prayer just out of greed, you think the universe or God's going to answer you? No. But if you say a prayer, and it doesn't matter where you're at, what time of the day you're at, a prayer for me is talking to myself. And because we're all divine beings, when I talk to myself, I also talk to God. No, I'm not being pretentious, saying I'm God, I'm not. But we all have that little speck within ourselves that is God. And even when we talk to ourselves, God still hears. The universe still is here. It's how you put that prayer. If you put that prayer with evil intentions, you're not going to get anything out of it. If you put your prayers with good intention, that's when things are going to change. Gratitude, we talked about it already. Taking time to offer yourself some grace. That's something I try to do every day now. Gratitude. And not, I'm happy that so-and-so did something. No. Gratitude. What did I do? Did I do better today than I did yesterday? Then I'm grateful that I did that. Silence and solitude. Dropping into silent awareness to let the ego dissolve. There's something about being in solitude that brings yourself closer to yourself. If that makes sense. Solitude brought me closer to me. Solitude gave me time to reflect and understand who I am, what I'm about, my worth. And in order to recognize that, you need to let your ego go. The ego is useful sometimes, but it's not who we are. When you let your ego control you, then your life is going to spiral. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but it will spiral. So let go of the ego and embrace solitude. Embrace yourself. Go and do the introspection. Do the reflection in silence and solitude. And you know what? You'll be surprised with the answers you're coming with. You'll be surprised how often you have been egotistic, even if you don't mean to. And that's what I meant earlier about intention. You can go after things. You can go after your desires, but do it with good intentions. Action and growth areas. Service. Serving others with intention, being a blessing to people. And this is what I talk in my podcast when I talk about sharing your light. Be in service of others, but first of all, be in service of yourself. Once your needs are fulfilled, then you can go and help other people. And helping other people, like I say all the time, does not take hours and hours. Sometimes it's 30 seconds. Sometimes it's 5 minutes. But you know what? The feeling you'll get out of that, you'll want to do it again and again and again. And yes, I recognize that not everyone is grateful. There's some ungrateful people out there because they're living within their shadows and they don't have any control over it. But even when you share your light and it's not received appropriately, reception was somebody else's problem. But the fact that you share your light makes you grow. And whether you believe it or not, it'll make that person grow as well. Spiritual discipline, committing to meditation, enlightenment, and service to others, and solitude. Community, finding or strengthening your spiritual community. Living purposefully, aligning your life to glorify and serve your higher self. Walking worthy of your faith. Knowing your worth. Know your worth. A lot of time we forget our worth because we're so entangled in life that we forget that we are worth something. So living purposefully, meaning know your worth. All right. So that was spiritual New Year for me. That was how I convey my beliefs, my personal experiences with life, and pass it on to others. Because sometimes helping people or being a service means that we're the voice out there that sometimes remind others that, oops, I'm not doing this the right way. This guy's right. Maybe I should do it better. And you know what? I've got several messages so far telling me just that. That warms my heart. That means that I'm doing something right. Even if I had helped just one person, it's still worth it. But you know what? Every podcast that I've made so far has helped people, and more than one. Last week's podcast reached over 35,000 views itself. Wow. After the year that I have had, to see results like this, it's overwhelming almost. But it tells me that I'm doing something right. It tells me that I'm on the right track. And it's something like that I'm going to keep going and going and going because it helps others and it feels good. It helped me feel good about myself. And that's something to do with my personality. Like my love language has always been acts of service because it makes me feel good. So what have you done to share your light this week? Tell you the truth, this week I probably did help people. I just don't remember what I would have done. Actually, no, today I did. There was an older lady at the grocery store and she couldn't reach something and I helped her 5 seconds. But this week was a tough one for me. Christmas on my own for the first time in 10 years was hard. But again, made sure that every day when I woke up, that I thank the universe for waking up because tomorrow is never promised. And I take stock of myself. What have I done yesterday? What am I doing today? What am I going to do to help myself grow? And by doing that, I got through it. And I got through it pretty well, actually. A lot better than I thought I would. So that's good. Keep putting out your light out there. Keep helping each other. Keep passing your light. Because when we do that, we grow and we help others grow. And in today's society, it's important because there's so much hate out there. So much hate. By sharing our lights, we help others see their true self. We help others realize that, hey, maybe what I did was not right and I need to change my ways. Will that happen every day? Hell no. Will it happen sometimes? Yes. That's what matters. It's like when you're applying for something, you'll get 1,000 no before you get your first yes. But all it takes is one yes, right? Anyway, that's it for me for today. I wish you all a new year that is full of growth, that is full of love, and that is full of accomplishments, positive accomplishment for you. And always love, light, and shadows. Have a good